What's up, everybody? I'm Nick with Matt from Multirotor, and today PowerHobby has sent me the new Blade Inductrix FPV edition. Now, I've had the tiny Whoop, I've thrashed it, I've harassed the girlfriend, chased some dogs, had a good time. Let's see if Blade stepped up their game enough to compete with it, shall we? So the Inductrix FPV comes in this pretty sweet little container. The bottom half of the container, you've got directions which say, and I quote, blah blah blah, lithium batteries will explode if you don't take care of them, blah blah blah. Huh, okay. Then we have the instructions in English, yay! Instructions in, hell, I don't know, looks like Spanish, German. Oh, this one's, oh, that's warranty, and your warranty. You got your cute little charger, USB style, and your battery. Now, the original Whoop came with a I want to say it was a 150 milliamp battery. And now they come with a 205, so, or 200. Huh, their website says 205. Interesting. So, a 200 milliamp battery, USB charger. Get out of the way, Whoop. And then the top half, I could have sworn I pulled the tape off this already. There we go. And at the top, you've got the quad. Now, side by side, pretty much the same size. I believe they use the exact same frame. They use the exact same everything. According to Blade, they did retweak the flight controller board, so it is a little more aggressive. And I can say, from side by side flying, it does feel a little more aggressive. Motors are supposed to be an upgraded version from the base Inductrix. It has to have it for the little bit of extra weight. And then obviously this one has the little built-in FPV transmitter. Now, these are going for $100 bind and fly, and I believe it's around $200, $199.99 for the ready to fly. But I know that a lot of us are in this hobby have stuff, so bind and fly is where we'll be. This does have a 25 milliwatt VTX, and it does transmit on the Fat Shark bands. And I believe it also transmits on the race flight bands. Now, I'm not quite sure how that works because it doesn't have all 24 or 32 channels, but it does have the race flight bands. So read your manual, it'll tell you how to change channels. It looks pretty damn decent. I like this little shell. It's definitely more protected than the old Clover. I like the yellow props. I like the yellow board or cover. The frame still feels, I'm not going to use the term flimsy, but light. We'll see if, as time goes on, what happens with it. And if you don't already know, it is bind and fly with Spectrum. So, Tyrannus guys, not JR, Turnigy, you guys are kind of out of luck unless you get a module. So, I'm going to throw this thing in the air, maybe harass the girlfriend and see how it flies. Okay, so I've flown it around, I beat it up a little bit, gave it a little thrashing, you know, home obstacle course, and I had a couple notes. Number one, the flight controller board is definitely a little more aggressive. You notice this more in the turns. It has way more yaw authority than the old Whoop. And that kind of sort of also leads to washouts. So unlike this one where you can kind of just throw it in the corner and it banks and it's whatever, you will find a little bit more washout with this, which is not a big deal. You learn to get used to it. Just going from one to the next, that's what I noticed. Next, the video is great. It works fine. You don't need the Clover antenna. The little linear antenna works just fine. I forgot to mention in the first half, if you want to change the channel, the button is actually here, which I think is pretty freaking cool. It does feel a little bit quicker. The motors are definitely more powerful than the stock Inductrix. You can throw this in pretty hard turns and it banks pretty nicely. And I don't think I had... Yeah, so this was probably one of the smartest things Blade did. They saw this, or Jesse Perkins created this and flew a couple flights and it blew up and took off. And this is literally the smartest thing I've seen Blade helis do in, good God, who knows how long. When you build a Whoop, you're looking at a $50 Inductrix, a $25 to $40 camera, $20 upgrade motors, and a few extra batteries. You're somewhere in the $120 to $150 range, which, me personally, that was ridiculous. So by doing this, $100 out of the box, Blade definitely hit a home run. I mean, these things are freaking awesome. I also noticed, too, the older ones, the low voltage cutoff, when you hit that, this thing dropped. You had maybe 2 to 3 seconds to land, and it crashes. This gave you a few, it was about 15 to 20 seconds of extra time flying to just slowly come down to a landing. So this thing definitely flew better than that one. That one feels smoother, but that's because I'm not used to this one yet. So these things are awesome. Go get one. Love it, fly it, beat the hell out of it. It's going to keep on ticking. PowerHobby, thank you very much for sending me this thing. This is badass, and definitely hope you sell a ton of them.